dodgy recording.
Cool. So, hopefully this is on. Yeah, cool. Alright, so really quick, my result, look, we all have a million of them once you've been around long enough, do you know what I mean? Because you kind of get better every time. But originally lost 12 kilos, 36 centimetres in 9 weeks. Suffered from irritable bowel syndrome. Hate saying it out loud, but I was told I have to. That subsided 2 weeks in, hasn't come back. Everything, seriously, headaches, anemia, whatever. Had it all, I was very sick. And then basically, yeah, anemia level I went to normal within 3 months, which was pretty cool because I can't check my blood every day, do you know what I mean? So it was like my next blood test and I noticed. But basically used the products throughout the pregnancy, I used everything, just kept really healthy, didn't have any concerns whatsoever, did completely pain-free, natural, you know what I mean? Don't recommend it, but anyway. Then used the products afterwards. I breastfed for 20 months whilst doing the business, university, and using all the products afterwards for weight loss. Yeah, so a lot of people ask me about, breastfeeding and stuff. It's like, well, he's pretty healthy, he's not too spastic, so I think it doesn't affect them too badly, do you know what I mean? Sorry, Zab, you see this later on in life. But that's him anyway, see what I mean? He's not too spastic, right? No, he's really healthy and he's really fit. He runs this Burns Beach track. Has anyone heard of Burns Beach? Remember Burns Beach? Yeah, you know the track? Yeah? It's like 4Ks or whatever. He seriously runs it twice a week. I'm not even kidding you, up and down hills. Like, I can't even run it. I'm like, wait for me. Yeah, he runs it twice a week and then I give him a shake for recovery. I'm one of those parents, move it and win. Anyway, so that's me, and my sisters use the products longer than me. And then income-wise, as I said, 4th year law, first year psych student, but when I first started, I was, full-time in that, like doing overload. Actually, when I started, most people don't realise, I was actually working with barristers 30 hours a week as well as retail, and then I was also doing dancing for fitness, because I was trying to lose weight, So I had a lot going on. So if you say no time, don't even bother saying that to me, because I'll be like, yeah, whatever, pretty sure I did more than you, you know what I mean? And I did 6 times a week, I was doing at least an hour of running. So don't come up to me about time, okay? First, as I said, $700 in my launch, didn't do anything else. Throughout exams, made the same amount. I thought, well, that's pretty sweet, like it wasn't a fluke, it came back to me. And then, and I went to supervisor straight away, because I just can't be bothered. Like, I couldn't be bothered doing double the amount of work, or I'm really bad at maths, hence why I did law instead of, I really like chem, but I can't do maths. So I know it's really dodgy, but the reason I went supervisor was actually because I can count half. I can't count 25. I know 25, you just halve it again, but it just, I didn't realise that until later. So that's actually why I went supervisor, was because I can count half. Has anyone seen Eddie Murphy Raw?
Yes.
He's like, half.
I want
divorce. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw that and I went supervisor. Go on there, I can do that. But anyway, and so yeah, never made below like $2,000 a month kind of thing. But when your expenses are $4,000 a month, you're not really doing that well, you know what I mean? And I was actually able to buy my first house by the age of 19 because of this, and I think that's pretty sweet. But then, oops, I just lost my thing. Just being too excited, obviously. But basically, as I said, $4,000 expenses, right? And then we didn't plan to have SARB. And so when you've got a mortgage and all these expenses, and then, you haven't grasped your head around the fact that now you're going to be at home and you can't go out and do, work stuff. Life is different, yeah? So, okay, I was doing all right in Herbalife, like everyone else thought I was doing great. But my expenses were double, so I wasn't doing great, yeah? And I went through this massive slump where it was poor me kind of thing, like, why can't someone else pay for me? Why can't I just be able to be a stay-at-home mum? Why? Watching Gossip Girl 9 hours a day, why? They're rich, why am I not rich? Because I'm watching them get rich. Anyway, but, I did that whole thing for a long time. And then it was when, I got called up and said, hey, when are you going to come to an event again? Hello? That's when I finally went, you know what, I so don't have money, but I'm going to go because I know that it's going to make me understand whether I'm going to continue or not. You know what I mean? Like, go for it again. Or just live in self-pity. So I went with that one. Right. Had really good fun, but it hit me again. And within 10 days coming back from the event, I think I retailed 20 Ultimates or something. So that was a good cash flow, and then it hasn't ended since then. But anyway, moving on. So, just really quick, you guys were in the goal setting workshop, so I'm not going to go into this, but the reason I put it up there is I just want to get a grasp of who I've got in the room. Okay, so what I mean is, before you even look at promotions, events, Herbalife, whatever, supervisor, know what you're actually wanting. Don't be one of the reasons why people fail in Herbalife, fail in life. It's not Herbalife, it's just general life, right? But a lot of people go, it's Herbalife. No, I'm pretty sure you would have done that in your normal work. But anyway, is because lack of goals and deadlines, like Kim was going through. You know, yeah, fair enough, have a goal, but if you haven't written when you're going to do it, what's the point? So right now, I need everyone to have a really clear goal of why you're here, what you're doing, Herbalife-wise. Everyone to write down in their book, within 90 days, what position do you want to be that you know of, yeah, and why. That means everyone, except you.
I'm recording. Stop making me laugh, I'm shaking my camera.
So this might help, this next one. If you don't know the positions yet, that's okay, like just go back to your books and your sponsor. Okay, so upfront decision everyone. Okay, who put supervisor? Okay, who put world team? Get team? Okay, mill team? Pres team? Cool. Okay, now, second one I want you to quickly write down is within 1 year, where do you want to be in Herbalife? Hate to break the bad news and everything, but whatever you want within 90 days, A, it starts from now, but whatever you want within the year, A, it starts from now, okay? So if you kind of do a fatal mistake that I did, which I'll go through later, and thinking it's going to, you can kind of start that later on, sorry, it's not going to happen, just to let you know, you need to extend your goal, okay? So what I mean by that is upfront decisions. So what I mean is, are you actually willing to do what it takes to get that? Serious. Like I'm actually asking that question, I hear it all the time. I want to be a pres team, I want to be mill team, I want to be a get team, I want to be, yeah, I'm going to be so good at this, like I'm going to be rich, whatever. And then it's like, okay, so if you want get team, you know, these are the meetings you need to attend. First meeting, they're not there. Oh yeah, like couldn't sort babysitting, or oh yeah, I couldn't get work off, or yeah, look, my house is really messy, it's my only day off, or whatever it is. Like if I've heard them all, I've given them all. No, I haven't really. I rock up to meetings. But I'm asking you seriously, are you willing to do what it takes? Meetings are important, whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever your sponsor tells you, okay, hey, if you want to get that, this is what is required. Are you actually willing to fit that into your schedule and make the commitment to go? Because hate to break it to you, but if you kind of pick and choose what you want to do, it doesn't work. You don't get to pick and choose generally when you work in normal life, right? Look, if your boss says this is your schedule, and go, oh, you know what, like, that day is usually my shopping day. That doesn't, can we just, or maybe I like to go to the movies or gossip or whatever. No, so you don't get to pick and choose this either. Like, you're not at that point, you're not successful in it, I guess, yet, if that makes sense. Like, the next stage for you, you've not reached it yet, so how do you know what to do? You don't. So you can't choose, because you don't know what to do. So you've just got to do what they've laid out. Have fun, you can be completely creative, but with the system, I'm sorry, you can't be creative. Okay, it's mapped out, yeah? So, really cute little quotes I really like, just to get your mind frames in the right spot before I get on to it, okay? So if you're going to have a quick read. Everyone read? I like interaction, by the way, so you need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yes? Wake up, people, come on. We're almost there, I promise. Okay, really quick. Reason I'm saying this is because promotions, events, and all that stuff is very, very key to this. Okay, so there's 4 key stories that you need to work on. In other words, they're the only stories you only get one shot at. You can't reinvent it. Do you know what I mean? It's the only time you get to make these stories. And they are getting a quick product result, getting a quick income story, how quickly you become a supervisor, and how quickly you become a world team member. Okay, so those are the 4 stories you need to keynote when you're looking at this section in the marketing plan when you're deciding what you want to do next, okay? And this is the system. I'm not going to go into it, but just so you know, because it's all based on promotions and events. Getting to the next level, this is what you're going to go to. Next level, this is what you're going to go to, okay? So, I'm going to talk about events pretty much today, events and promotions. So the stuff that the company puts out for you to do a little bit more than you probably would have done because you're actually going for something physical, yeah? So 10,000 volume points for 10 months in a row, why would you bother doing that? You know what I mean? Unless you had the numbers. You know, I personally wouldn't really go, I'm going to do 10,000 volume points for 10 months in a row. Why would I say that? But because I was going for the Fiji vacation, I wasn't going for level 1, I was going for level 3, which is 100,000 points in 10 months. So clearly for me, there's other ways of doing it, but for me, I just thought, well, if all hell breaks loose, at least I've got this option of doing 10,000 volume points for 10 months, right? So that's what I did, yeah? So I would not have gone for 10,000 points if I wasn't going for the Fiji vacation, yeah? My first year in Herbalife, I actually did qualify for the cruise. The cruise everyone keeps talking about. And they're like, who was on the cruise? I was 1 week off giving birth, so I was not allowed on the cruise. but I qualified. So when they ask everyone who was on the cruise, I'm like, I kind of made it, but I didn't. Even though I made Xavier's room nautical theme, I thought it would be appropriate if it happened there, but I don't think everyone else would have liked that. Anyway, so don't be stubborn like me. So what I mean by this is, okay, who's been to uni, school, whatever? Yeah? Okay. Now, would they give you the degree if you just said, yeah, I can't really afford my uni book to do the exam, and I'm not going to rock up to the exam, don't feel like it? Are you going to get the degree? Probably not. I don't know what else you could do to sort that situation, but probably not. I wouldn't anyway. Probably not, right? So it's exactly the same thing. So you've got to think of it that way. If you want to be getting paid professional income in Herbalife, you have to be trained to become professional. Yeah? So this is the numbers from Zach Tardle, who was our guest speaker in Adelaide 2012. And these are the numbers. So what he said was if you bring 8 people to an event, within 4 to 6 months after, you're a get team. So you write these numbers down. Yeah? Can everyone read? Yeah? 32 people is mill team, 4 to 6 months. And 86 people is pres team, 4 to 6 months as well. So you really, those numbers you have to solidly write down. Because they're proven numbers. It's not like we just made that up.